Hey folks, Mike Clark here. I get a lot of questions about the difference in a Gamakatsu SuperLine hook and a regular EWG hook. And I'm here to show you the difference. The shape is basically the same. One is constructed of heavy material, which is the SuperLine, and the regular EWG is a lighter material. It's made for penetrating through the large plastics with the lighter lines and the monofilaments. The SuperLine is designed for that. It's designed for the braids so you don't straighten your hooks out. So if you're having a problem with regular EWGs and you're straightening the hooks, when you set the hook or you fight a big fish and you're using braided line, you need to step up to the SuperLine. There is a difference in the construction. They're the same shape, but they're designed for two different purposes. You can use the SuperLine for everything if you want. If you're using heavy mono, 20, 25 pound, and you're flipping and pitching, it works great for that. But if you're using the lighter lines and the smaller lures, you may want to step down to the EWG for that purpose. But if you're going to be doing the big stuff, you may as well go with the SuperLine so you don't have any problems, because you cannot straighten this hook out. You'll break your line. Gamakatsu has the super heavy cover hook too. It's designed for tying the snail knot because the eye is welded. If you ever have a problem with tying snail knots in conventional hooks where they're bent and they have a little tiny gap, you may want to step up to this because your knot will not slip between that gap in your hook. But if you're using these and you have that problem, what you need to do is tie you a snail knot with some monofilament first. Use 3 wraps, tie your snail, and you create a collar behind that gap. And then you're free to use your braid and tie your snail knot behind that mono, and that mono will keep that braid from sliding through that gap. That's your tip right there. So I know we've all experienced that in setting a hook, and you come back and there's a knot on the end of your line and there's no hook or fish or anything. That's because that braid slipped between the bend of that eye and the hook shank. And that happens with all manufacturers, not just one. So if you're having that problem, do your little mono trick with a snail, and then tie your snail with your braid, and you won't have that problem. Gamakatsu also makes a SuperLine hook for swim baits with a spring lock. It also works great for dragging crawls like this cream ST crawl. You screw it on there. Voila.